They locked me away. I kept singing. Cold steel bars and a concrete bed, a number now where my name once said. Boots on gravel, slamming door, a life I won't be living no more. They took my belt, my pride, my ring, but they couldn't take this voice I bring. In the silence of that midnight wing, I found the only thing I had left to sing. Every echo down that lonely hall sounded like freedom calling me home. They locked me away, but I kept singing. Through the darkness, my voice kept ringing. No chains can hold what lives inside. I lost my world, but not my fight. They locked me away, but I kept singing. Every broken note, every memory clinging. If I can't be free out there tonight, then I'll be free in every line. Guard said, son, you had your chance. I said, yeah, I chose this dance. Made some deals I can't outrun. Now I pay for what I've done. There's a photo taped to my wall, her smile before I lost it all. I sing her name when lights go dim, hoping somehow she hears me again. Every night when the silence screams, I hold on tighter to these dreams. They lock me away, but I kept singing. Turn my pain into something living. Every scar's a melody, every tear's a harmony. They locked me away, but I kept singing. A broken man with a voice still swinging. If these walls won't let me go, then I'll outlive them in every note. If I never walk those streets again or feel that southern wind, just know I didn't fade away. I sang my truth till the end. They locked me away, but I kept singing. Through the bars, my soul kept ringing. Ain't no judge can silence me. I'm guilty, but my heart is free. They locked me away, but I kept singing. Left my story in every string. And if I die in this old cell, at least my song will live somewhere. They lock me away, but I kept singing.
The walls were cold, the nights were long, steel lavas humming with a broken song.
The walls were cold, the nights were long, steel bars humming with a broken song. rusty bed and a Bible shelf, just a guitar and the ghost of myself. I used to run where the wild road's been, chasing gold at the rainbow's end. But the price of pride, the devil's fee, was a lonely selling these memories. Every night I'd play that same old line, hoping someday they'd hear between the rhyme. I sang this from a prison cell where broken dreams and sinners dwell, 1,000 miles from who I was and every wrong I ever done. I sang it low, I sang it true, about the girl I once knew and the world outside that set me free. Finally heard the man in me. The guards would laugh when the lights went down, said that boy's singing to an empty town. But somewhere past these iron doors, that melody was keeping score. I wrote her name on the back of a cord, prayed the wind might carry my words through dusty towns and neon bars, all the way to her heart. Years went by in a silent ride, till one night the world caught the sound of mine. I sang this from a prison cell where broken dreams and sinners dwell, 1,000 miles from who I was and every wrong I ever done. I sang it low, I sang it true, about the girl I once knew and the world outside that set me free. Finally heard the man in me. They said a song can cross a wall, ride the wind where angels call, and somewhere past these rusted bars my voice was riding through the dark. I sang this from a prison cell where lonely hearts and rebels fell, but every scar and every plea turned into a melody. Now the road is wide and the sky is free, but these old chains still sing in me, 'cause a song I wrote in misery finally set this outlaw free. Yeah, I sing it low behind those walls of misery, and the world out there finally heard the truth in me. I heard my prison song on the radio, didn't think they'd ever let it go. Cold steel bars and a number for a name. I used to run wild, now I'm chained to my shame. That old guitar kept me halfway sane, singing about a life I could never reclaim. Guard said, boy, you got something there. I just laughed like I didn't care, but every word was a piece of truth from a man who burned down his youth. I never thought I'd leave these walls, never thought the world would call. I heard my prison song on the radio, riding through towns I'll never know, strangers singing every line of a life that ruined mine. I heard my prison song on the radio, felt that pain in every note. Funny how the world can cheer Mama cried when the verdict came down, said, son, don't let this be your crown. But I wore it like a rebel's pride, till the truth cut deeper than I could hide. There was a girl I left back home, promised her I'd change, I won't now. She hears me on that dial, but I ain't seen her in a while. I gave the world a broken song, didn't know they'd sing along. I heard my prison song on the radio, rolling through the afterglow. Every word I tried to hide, now it's playing nationwide. I heard my prison song on the radio. Yes, the truth is what they want, but they don't know these prison nights or the man I am behind. If I could trade this melody for one more night of being free, I'd let that record fade away just to hear her say my name. But songs don't unlock these doors, and fame don't settle scores. I heard my prison song on the radio. Now the whole world thinks they know, but they never felt these chains or the weight of my mistakes. I heard my prison song on the radio, and it cuts me to my soul, 'cause the man they celebrate is the one I can't escape. I heard my prison song on the radio, and I'm still here. She met me when my boots were worn, dust on my hands, heart barely warm. No stage, no lights, no crowd to see, just her believing in a man like me. We'd sit on that porch past midnight, radio low, just living life. She said, you don't need fame to shine, but I was chasing dollar signs. I heard the road calling my name, and I chose the fire over the flame. She loved me before the money, before the lights, before the fame, before I turned my back on something that I'll never find again. Now I got gold in my pocket, but it don't feel like it should. She loved me when I had nothing, and I left her for the good. I sent her postcards from LA, said, baby girl, I'm on my way. But every mile I drifted more from the life we had before. She stopped picking up my calls. I guess she built her stronger wall, and I kept singing every night while losing her out of sight. The crowd was screaming out my name, it never felt the same. She loved me before the money, before the lights, before the fame, before I broke the only promise that I swore I wouldn't change. Now I got drinks and diamonds, but I'd trade them if I could. She loved me when I had nothing, and I left her for the good. I saw her once in a small town bar, didn't recognize who I was anymore. She smiled, but it wasn't the same. Didn't even say my name. There was a ring on her left hand, and peace I'll never understand. She loved me before the money, before I became this man, before the road took everything I didn't understand. Now I ride this highway lonely, with regrets I can't outrun. She loved me when I had nothing. Now I've got everything but the one. Yeah, she loved me before the money, and I lost her when it came.